This is your sleepless god back with what if Percy was trained by Persephone and Hades. Starting just straight out with the recap, not going to waste much time. Uh, uh, Hades told Percy about the chains of apocalypses, and he, as Percy for training, and with it went down to what Hades call basically the dungeon of the dead, or something like that. Got the chains of apocalypse by also mastering the ability of sorry, my voice went deep. Mastering the abilities of dual wielding swords. With these travels, you also got two other magical artifacts. One that Persephone was created when she went into this realm. And also a phoenix that healed most of his wounds. As when he came back, Persephone doted on him, healed him up, and traded out one of his eyes with the magical eye. As this magical eye, we learned, basically made him spot auras and spot godly energy. As he looked down on himself as he saw this blue for Poseidon, green for Persephone, and black all mixed together for his own energy. As after that, he trained for the next for a couple of years until he got 11 and a half. And then Hades and Persephone, but mostly Hades, put him on a quest to find the Helm of Darkness and the Lightning Bolt. He told him the basic storyline that he knows that the God of War took it, or most likely took it, but a camper helped him take it, and also was involved with the robbery itself, but he doesn't know who. As he transformed into the mortal realm, 26 miles away from Camp Half-Blood, as he flicked off the sky and the ground and said, "Fuck you." As now, let's start the video. As Percy basically started walking. It's not his first time. He has amazing stamina as he starts walking, as he did after roughly 5 miles find some wild horses and that he asked to help him through his journey, making his trip actually a lot easier and a lot faster. He does not get hunted down by any of the monsters that he did, like the Minotaur, Hellhounds, because Hades knows that Percy can crush those creatures. Percy can put a blindfold on, tie a foot behind him, and having only one sword, and still crush one of his many hellhounds. As when Percy goes to town to collect resources, he gets manic looks because he's wearing like he's wearing a jacket, like a skull t-shirt, like straight black pants with like high tops, riding a horse barebacked with like these like really like black hair, like one eye completely one eye blue like the ocean, the other eye completely green, like literal grass green, as does not talk to anyone, riding this horse, ties up the horse, goes to a store, gets some food, unties the horse and starts riding again. As after 2 days, would be 2 days of travel, 26 miles on a horse, I would say roughly 1.5 days of travel, he gets to Camp Half Blood. Letting the horse obviously go at that point and letting it back to wander, he walks up to the gates and comes in. As he feels the field wash over him, and he starts walking to what he sees. He's on top of the hill right now as he sees a kind of just like the camp. He sees the big house, a massive house that, again, a second story. He has a 2-story house that the biggest out of the camp. So you see cabins. As he looks over, as he sees like kids playing volleyball, satyrs running. He sees some people playing archery, entire lakeside, as he smiles. Because Percy's used to the underworld. The underworld is not like this at all. It's not like this beautiful, almost like the tree grown. Like Persephone has a side where she has her own garden where it is like this somewhat. There's a little bit of a lake, there's trees, but it's only her side. And it's only her garden. Everything else is dark and dramatic. And he's used to that. He likes that. But this is still wonderful itself. As he slides down, and starts walking in. As oh yeah, I forgot. He has the phoenix with him. I forgot that he had that kind of ish. The phoenix is just, that's how like he could ride for so long without getting tired. He rode for at least 8 hours without getting tired. It's this phoenix and the chains of apocalypse. It's basically giving him a bonus in his stamina reserves, where he can think of it like charges. Like he has 6 charges until he runs out, and with those 6 charges, he can basically boost his already, like it has his a normal boost, like a normal healing upgraded healing factor, upgraded stamina, upgraded strength, but he can boost it where it will have double of all of those abilities. As he starts walking into camp, as he sees blacksmiths and everything like that, as you see a necklace around Percy's neck with a little tiny blade at the end of the necklace. This is his black blade from Hades. He knows that if he shows this, it's going to be too regular, so he hides it. He hides it into a necklace piece. As he starts walking in, as he sees a young girl, not really young, about his age, 12 years old, it looks like. Beautiful blonde hair, tan skin, very muscular, very same as Percy himself at that time, because he's very athletic even at this point because of the training. Really gray eyes though, and even with Percy, it's a little terrifying to see those gray eyes. Those eyes will like look into your soul. As he walks up, as he says, Percy, I'm a camper. I just came here. As you see Chiron look at him, and he's like, by yourself? Yeah, by myself. As Mr. D looks at him and just says, what's... Oh, he's... Pull up a chair. As Percy pulls up a chair and sits down, as you see Annabeth like looks at him, and Annabeth is studying him, and Percy is acting really well in this sense because he's acting like he's nervous. He's acting like he's not used to this. He's used to being with gods. He knows Mr. D is a god because of his left eye. He knows he is Dionysus. He knows Annabeth is a god. He's Athena, one of Athena's children. But right now, he has to play. He has to bluff and make everyone believe he's a lot weaker than he actually is. As you see him like lower down himself, make his presence smaller. As Mr. G says, I hope you know how to play pinochle. As Percy definitely knows how to play pinochle. The people who taught him played pinochle, and they bet a lot. Percy has never lost a game. From 8 years old to 11 right now, he has never lost a game. That is terrifying. As he starts playing, as Mr. D starts explaining the camp, as he says, this is half blood, blah blah blah, fucking bullshit. As Karen says, Mr. D, as Mr. say, I raise, I was like, Mr. D says, so this is a camp where you, I bet you already know this, the great gods are real. As Chiron says, yes, explain that better. All the legends that you hear about Zeus, Hermes, and all that stuff, it's completely real. As he's acting shocked. He says, really? As he bets a little bit higher than Mr. D. As Mr. D looks at him curiously. As Chiron looks at him and says, yes, as he folds. All the Greek gods are, all the stories that you heard are completely real. With this, I hope you have a fun time at camp. As Mr. D pulls out I think he said a cream triple. I have one. As Percy says, looks at him and says, he might be a good actor, yes, but there are some rules that not even he will break, and that is the rule that he will never lose pinochle to a weaker champion. As he pulls out his own cards, showing that he has a higher amount, grabbing the pot from Mr. D. Chiron hurriedly standing up because he knows Mr. D temper. Annabeth. As Annabeth looks at Percy with those trying to literally looking into your soul eyes. Why don't you get cabin 12 ready for our newer guest? As Percy gets a tour of the entire camp. He sees the volleyball court, the lake, the garden where he explains that Mr. D they basically isn't it it's strawberries, isn't it? Yeah, strawberries. Sorry, I've read them, but it's been a little bit. About the first book, I've read the last book 20 times. It's so good. I love it. I will get to that point. Just watch me. But Chiron's basically just explaining how everything works, and they go to cabin 12. Percy walks in with a backpack full of food and $12, 4 drachmas that he got from obviously mostly from Hades. And he actually got a vine, like a vine charm. Doesn't do anything, but it's from Persephone herself. It's just a little one, as it's special. Doesn't does any protection, just helps him out. As he sees the overpopulation of Cabin 12, as he's like nods his head. As Luke pops up, Luke looks different. In the book, obviously you should know that. If you don't, in the book, he has very similar blonde hair, but a scar that goes down his eye. He does not have that scar no more. As Luke pops up and says, welcome to Cabin 12. My name is Luke Castellan. As he looks at it, as Percy looks at him and says, Percy Jackson, nice to meet you. As, again, he lowers his presence, trying to make sure that he does not seem like a higher... Because he is so used to basically putting out so much bloodlust that people are just afraid of him, that he has to contain it, and he has to control it. As he's like, so where do I sleep tonight? As he points to like a little floor on the ground. Right there. Sorry about, everyone, prowling around. As he says, don't worry about it. I've been living in foster homes for many years now. It's a common ploy. This is a straight up lie. We all know this is a lie for us. He's saying this not just because he's not trying to fool Luke. He's trying to make Luke believe his story is something different. He cannot say, yes, Persephone and Hades trained me since I was a child, and I've been training over it. No, he cannot. That would be scary and a threat almost to all these campers. So what he does is he's lying a little bit. Fibbing, mostly. He is saying that technically is his life, but he's also not saying that you should believe me. This is true. He's giving little, hints. As Luke, eyes kind of raise up, and he's like, foster home kid? He's like, yeah, parents died when I was super young, to baby level. I never knew him. I heard my mom was a trying to be a writer. This is not a lie. Hades has told him. Hades has let Percy talk to his mother, as they talk about her trying to be a writer. Not for long visits, because obviously talking to the dead is almost like, unless you're dead yourself, you can't really do that. But Persephone's, not Persephone, but being the king of the underworld gives you some ploys. As I heard my mom wanted to be a writer. As Luke says, oh, that's wonderful. So just set your stuff down there if you want to. As you see Annabeth walk in. As Annabeth walks in and says, we're gonna need Percy. Can I borrow Percy for a little bit? As Luke smiles, as something different happens with Annabeth than in the books. She doesn't flushes. She's just friendly, happy. Sorry, my brain just shut up. But I said Persephone. Percy was going to drop his stuff, but he realized that this is cabin 12, full of everyone, and thieves and the god of travel. So he picks up his backpack and says, "Ah, I'll see you later, Luke. Nice time seeing you." As he walks out with Annabeth, as Annabeth looks at him and says, "Who the fuck are you?" As he's like, "What? What do you mean? You have an aura about you that says I could kill anyone in this world, but you act like you're a child who doesn't know anything. So who are you?" As he just looks at him and just says, "Oh, I understand now. You have to act like that." As Annabeth like leans back, like, what? I lived in homes and churches and places where you had to act tough. And if you didn't act tough, you got crushed. So I had to learn how to act like that. Inside, I don't want to be like that. That's not a blatant lie. It is a lie that he didn't live in homes, but it's not a lie that he didn't. He had to learn how to act tough. Hades' realm, not when he was born, he was acted carefully. But when you're training, you act tough and you don't let go. As Annabeth says, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, "Don't be. That's how I am now." As they start walking, as Annabeth starts talking to Percy, as she started telling him about that the how everything works and how your how most of these kids actually are, and ADHD and dyslexia that you actually are just battle senses, and just it's not that you can't read, is that you're high rated to read ancient Greek. Percy already knows this stuff, especially the ancient Greek part. He's been reading ancient Greek. As you see a very bulky woman walk up. "Hey, wise girl, who's the new guy?" As Percy looks over and sees a roughly same age, a little bit taller girl named Clarice. As this is where we're ending it off. Hope you guys like it. Just remember, keep on liking. Try to get everyone to subscribe. Bless this out. We had 158. Try to get to 200. Get that crackhead around that corner to subscribe. Hope you guys like it. Goodbye.